we are live, as far as I can tell. As soon as I get on, I can't breathe. Once again, like last time. That's kind of odd. Again, okay, here we are. Greetings. Alright, I'm not sure how long this is going to, how long I'm going to do this for, how long of duration for this. Alright, what I received is around, let's see, 2 years, I would say, maybe longer, maybe shorter. We are in like preparation. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't see anything, or anything goes from here on out. Basically, you can say this is like the call, or just to take it or leave it, whatever it was, but alien energies are going to get stronger here over the next 2 years. So this basically is for a psychological reason for those that aren't ready for this. Those that are ready for this, it can happen right now. It can happen probably 20 years ago or longer for those that are ready for this, but realize you're a small percent compared to the majority that say, oh, this isn't real. And then if they feel it's real, or something real does happen, they get all scared, and it's not good. So I feel like Noah in some regard, because it doesn't mean nothing's going to happen between now and then. It's just expect anomalies, expect anything, strangeness in the air. As we are just now, this is for those that aren't ready for all of this. It's like, here's the call, others that connect to it too, do a video or whatever it might be. I'm putting it out there, believe it or not, that is just fine and dandy. Not to say the end of the world is coming at all in 2 years, not at all. It just feels like we're coming into more of alien awareness, and you're already seeing signs of it in some areas, like with the Space Force, and we're just getting started. So this is, you can say, it's the message out to millionaires, elites, whatever it might be. Obviously some elites are aware of it, not all, but this is all a metaphysical connection, spiritual connection, not something you can go research. Good luck with that. But that does not mean signs won't be around. Gee, it feels like I was at an airport here. Love it. Just love it. I'm nowhere near an airport, yet they fly so low. It's so ridiculous. It's been going on actually most of the night tonight, actually. But yeah, we are. This is the message I received, so I finally got some clarity of it. And I'm not sure if I have any time to do a text channeling or anything throughout the week. We'll see, because I got work, so we'll see if I get any details between now, throughout the week. Yeah, the UN is involved with this, of course, and other nations. That doesn't mean the government's going to be involved when this starts to occur. It's just basically the Earth is going through a purge of awareness. Now, those that aren't aware of this, will feel weird things. It's kind of like you're living inside the X-Files, you could say. It has not fully started, but it's in its. We're in that, dimension. We're in that energy, basically the new Earth and all of that. But just go with the flow. Who knows how long this is going to take? It's kind of like Noah waited for it to flood, but this is not going to be a flooding. It's going to be, they're here. They're already here. They can turn on the lights right now. But most of humanity just laughs it off and goes put their heads in the sand or whatever it is. And there's signs everywhere. They just look the other direction. That's all. They say it's not here because they get all cringy and start crying and do what they do best and say it's not there, but it's very real. They're putting signs out there all the time, and they just keep ignoring it. So that doesn't mean this is all going to be damnation. Far from it. It's just they have to show up eventually, and it feels like we're just in that. Obviously been in this already, but July seems like the time of. This is like giving you a heads up. This is a psychological situation. Some might start seeing these beings more clearly in some areas, possibly. If you're in a vortex, you see them already. So, of course, most of humanity is in denial. I'm not sure if there's any convincing they can do, or if they care to convince, but I believe the big concern now is those that don't believe in any of this are, you know, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. You know, because they're just, you know, they put their heads in the sand and they want to leave and stay there forever. So it makes more sense of, you know, a psychological transition. It's like you can't deny it. There's strangeness here, and it's going to get, you can say, more bizarre going forward. I'm not sure how that's going to be, but we are, you know, anomalies in the skies, possibly. Anything goes. But as for physical contact, like I said, it can happen, flip a switch. But majority of humanity is, you know, so all this is about them, you know, putting the word out for them to wake up if you want to. Not saying anything bad is going to happen, but, you know, you are still, like, in charge of yourself. And if you see something strange in the sky that looks like people on a ship and it's not from this world, how's that? How are you going to take that? So you can say we're getting we're getting an acknowledgement of it. It's not exactly 2 years, who knows, but that's what I'm getting right now. And it does feel like this is, it makes a lot, you know, like, so basically alien disclosure throughout. It's not gonna be every video I'm going to talk about, but I'm trying to get some clarity out of this. I'm not getting very far, and this is probably the most clarity I've gotten, at least, of is basically it's a psychological shakedown for those that ignore this. The signs are everywhere, you just have to look, and most don't look. Those that are looking and aware something's here, it's a spiritual connection. And if you ignore that, you don't have to understand it all, but realize that's how it operates. It happened all the time. That's your mechanics, is the spiritual mechanics, and to trust your instincts and wait for, I mean, like, if you don't, I mean, you have the ghost reality if you want to connect with that, if you're looking for spiritual connections. The alien's a little bit out there compared to that, but at least you have your ghost people, or whatever you want to call them, interdimensional beings. We are spiritual beings, and we are getting more knowledge of how to handle this, how to bring in the new earth. And this is the starting, well, it's already been started, you can say, but we're in the, you know, like I said, the game has begun, you can say, in some regard of awareness is going to increase in some areas, some places. And if you want to look at other, I guess more anomalies, yeah, or from what I gather, are going to occur that you feel it's more nature, and but there's other energies involved. You might see motherships in the skies, possibly, but might be covered up, but might not be in some areas, and just you know, feel like the skies are going to start lighting up here and there as they are gearing up. Of course, 2 years isn't that long, but for, you know, like I said, it can happen tomorrow or right now, and I don't think that's even discussed all that much. Probably not, because it can happen this moment, but with most of humanity, it is to you know. And now those that are believing any of this, I mean, they're the reason why this world, we learn so much from this world, because they come here, they forget everything, they go into the human, you know, robot society, you can say, and this world is super difficult compared to other worlds. Yeah, we can get 1,000, this world's like the equals out to 1,000 worlds because of the stress here and this and that, and, you know, because they kind of stripped everything away, it went into the program. And that's saying a lot. I mean, forget everything. Forget spirit, forget everything. Forget who they are, and just take your spiritual identity and just toss it. That's huge. And you can say when they reincarnate like that, when you're doing it over and over and over, it becomes addicting. And you just, I mean, obviously when they die, they go into spirit, but when they come back, all their old memories come back. So when you come here, when you're here a lot, it's easy to forget the rest of the universe. And that was the whole point of it too, in a lot of ways. Not entirely, but those, you can say, those that chose to forget it so they can learn more. And so now you have more difficulties here, you get more manipulation, because you forget your spiritual side, we get more manipulations coming in. Makes sense, doesn't it? It's like when you cut off a spirit, you cut off all that, other worlds, you shut all that down, it's just us humans on this rock. It's easier to get manipulated, you know, the money system and this and that, are treated like slaves. It all makes sense, you know. So it's quite, you know, you think quite an achievement to go into forgetfulness like this. But then some of us come here to turn on the lights. It's up to you if you want to hear it, though. Many might be turning those lights off. So we're here to turn on the lights, but of course many humanity is turning it off. So yeah, it's gonna be a back and forth. So imagine this video will reach those that needs to reach, and the messages I do in the past too. I was gonna put QAnon and Secure Team in the title, but I'll give it time. But this is where we're heading. This is the new Earth. This is the event, if you want to call it that. But there's no, you know, who knows where this is all going to land. But from the feelings I'm getting, yeah, it is, the energies of disclosure are heating up. Doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, but the likelihood of it happening in our lifetime is increasing greatly. And so just feel that. And as for where they show up, and who knows what's going to happen between now and then. Anything goes. I mean, some might open up more spiritually and start to see these beings more clearly. So, you know, that's where we're heading. And more downloads, more understanding. It might be more sightings of physical aliens being seen across the world. It's a possibility. And maybe even physical, maybe getting it on film, maybe. That would be quite fascinating. We already have some of that here and there, but it might increase. That would help. It really would. It, you know, especially see mantis beings and different, you know, reptilians. That would be a neat one. So, but that's the download I'm receiving at this time. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. But of course, I don't have any definite. But of course, either way, we're in the era of disclosure, and just because it's not trendy by the other channelers doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Some of them aren't part of it. Who cares? If they're not going to, it's just, who cares? You want to beat the whole hybrid children thing to death, go for it. It's still helping people awaken, so that's good. But I tell you, the whole disclosure thing is going to start. It's going to hammer in somehow, as people are going to receive messages on their own. Those that are aware of this, I imagine dreams will come through. You'll just get a vibe. It's not just going to be coming from me. It's just, you can say I'm getting a validation of it, and so it's going to increase. So it gives everyone a chance to adjust to all this. And so those that are getting involved with all the, yeah, it's on its way. So what happens in 2 years if people aren't ready for all this? Well, you can say those in the spiritual communities will be, they're already prepared, will be more prepared. And those that are, I'm going to call this a warning. It's like, it's just let you know that, I mean, if they're talking to me, they're probably talking to others. And it's just the energies are going to increase. And it's just, now there might be people freaking out in certain areas. Yeah, it's like there's obviously they're already here, but like different types of vibrations to let us know that they're here, and it's going to get stronger and stronger throughout for the next 2 years. And it must be some point where they're just like, there'll be like an opening where they can come through finally, where they feel like it'll be safe for most people. It's not everybody. So As I say, I'm going to do a video about this every single day, but it's probably going to come up here and there. Yeah, because it's just part of our soul growth. It's time. It's time for third dimension. Is, you know, as lovely as it is, it's wasn't, you know, it's kind of ran its course. Of course, it's pretty heavy to close that out too quickly. So imagine this: those that, you know, your people's senses are just open up more. You know, become more advanced over time, and not to have any fear. Of course, many don't have any fear now, but I mean, it's going to become so real that will bring probably chills to your energy. I mean, I asked for like visualization. I don't really get anything. It just, I guess, it's not a reason for it. Not that it matters, but the whole point is the message at this time. Yeah. So I'm just putting it out there. Take it or leave it. Heck, I don't care. Hopefully your heart's doing pretty. Hopefully your heart's in a good. Hopefully your health is in a good condition. Because when they do start appearing, some are going to have a lot of difficulties here. I mean, you can deny it to death. You look on the internet; it's all over the place, and people still deny it. So it's like, okay, that's where you're going to be. That's fine. So. Because what it feels like, of course, I keep changing my story because I get different messages. But this one seems a definite one for, yeah. I mean, the energies that they're giving me out 2 years were in preparation. So I never got a message like that. I always got, here we come, and that's about it. It's like, that doesn't give me much to work on. I feel July. Okay, so you're coming in July. It's like, since when did they give you an actual date of any of this? Like, but it's, once again, they're testing our vibrations. When I talk, when others connect, and they're just kind of playing by ears too. I think that's a lot of it. But you know, for us to get more prepared for it, and it's a high possibility things are going to start increasing here. That would be cool. Just to get like messages, or, you know, some kind of anomaly, crop circle somewhere like in the ocean that just stands still. That's weird, but anyway, you know, something that where we know that signs that we're, you know, that they're serious. I believe they're serious about this. But a time period of all that, you know, it feels like they're playing by ear. Isn't that just funny? I mean, obviously they know a lot more than they're giving me, but it feels like they're going by our vibrations. They're just reading it. So this is what we were here for, and it's just basically how are you mentally on all this. Most that are already aware are fine. Those that think we're all crazy, I'm not sure what's going to happen to that. It's like, we told you so, and that's all we can do. It's like, yeah, it's going to be like Noah's Ark. It's going to be, everyone's going to call us crazy, and we're nuts, and 2 years down the road, it starts raining. It's like, here they are. And they're not going to come viciously, nothing like that. And that's another reason for me to be here, is it's nothing, I mean, anything like that. It's just like the human can take nothing and turn it into a nightmare. It's like, they do it every day. You know, look at the news media. They take nothing, and make it like a 24-hour news story. How do you do that? Oh, that's right. I was going to do, before this, that's right, I was going to go into the media a little bit, like Bill O'Reilly. How that is like a reptilian. Of course, he's always in denial. He got thrown out for all these allegations of abuse towards women, which are, yeah, definitely true. But what I got is, like, from him, his higher ups deny everything, and that's all he's doing. He's denying everything. It is it's the truth, most likely 90%, and he just denies it. Deny. Jeez, it's like a reptilian stooge, definitely. So. And you can say the media is kind of like that, deny what's really happening here. Well, it's all programmed by the elites. It's a game. I mean, that's your big brother. and just not in the way, you know, like in the book, as I said. It's in a way where it's like comfort food. The media is like comfort, I guess. Jeez, it's a cover-up comfort food. So, yeah, I'm not sure where the media is going. Eventually, that will collapse, but not yet. It does seem like when the alien anomalies, basically, you can say their credibility is going to go down the drain. It's going to continue to go down the drain. So there might be a lot of hiccups there in their stories, where CNN's still doing what they do best, but a lot of that's going to start too. Because it's a reason I bring it up, because it's a major part of our mind control here, part of it, not all of it. And I guess with the music industry should, once the manipulations release, you'll start to hear real music again, at least modern music. And not all of it's bad, but a lot of it sounds the same. I don't listen to music. It's just not. Justin Bieber, that was that enough of it. But a lot of that is, from what I gathered, is the music industry. There's so much manipulation in there. They don't want any of them going against them, like Michael Jackson did. So they just program all of them, turn them into little zombies. Working very well, as you can see. Other than Justin Bieber running around with, like a dumbass, he's not really going against the music industry, or it's calling them out, calling them satanic, whatever they are. You don't see any of that in the music industry, but you do see a lot of satanic stuff in the music industry, because they sold out. They're just zombies, basically. So yeah, music really dropped off, didn't it? During the 90s, I think, when the movies dropped off, I feel like late 90s, it kind of lost their edge. They lost their message. They always had a message. You might not have loved it, but they always had like a heart to it. The heart seems to be gone. It's not the same. It's more like engineered. It's just not the same. The heart in it, really, even if the box office failure or success, and at least in the old movies, there's a heart there. Even in music, there's a heart. It's now reptilian overlord manipulations, whatever it might be. It just feels like they're trying to keep us under control. They put us in the cooker, but it feels like that cooker is releasing. So music might improve, possibly. I would say the next couple of years. Not gonna happen fast. And also, movies might start having a real message. It may be hard to say. I don't know. It's a possibility. Maybe after the 2-year mark was what I have to say. So alien energies are going to just ways to vibrate. The energies of them are going to increase here. Let's put it that way. As for seeing them, ships will be seen. A mothership might be seen. Just to give us more, of course, they'll just say it's SpaceX, or call it something else, or it's whatever. It's a hologram or whatever nonsense they're out there. But it does seem like it's going to increase for the positive. Just not they're going to gang up on us or anything like that, but it's time for us to, let's see, the Galactic Federations, you can say, have made it finally, from what I gather, that sounds weird, a decision to allow more of us to go into the awakening process, because it wasn't always 100%. As for disclosure, I mean, basically, like when I got the message, like it was most likely going to happen. Obviously down the road, but they didn't even tell me that. It just said disclosure, talk about it. And here we are, 2 months later. Going to month number 3, and nobody has showed up yet. Well, they're preparing. So, from what I feel like the Galactic Federations, they've finally made a decision. They're allowing it more energies to come through for us to understand of our galactic region, ourselves, just through intuitions and just over time, not quickly, but we're going to get more information of our origins. And many of us, once again, I said this before, many here are ready to take back the Earth, but like the major blockage with the elite seems to have lifted. And you say July was the time when they left. Not all of them. Many of them are still here. Oh yeah, that's right. The negative Illuminati, the ones that have been suppressing us, Satan is best, all that. You know what they would say to us? Instead of saying, I'm sorry, they'll say, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, we made your life a living hell. You're welcome. Have a nice day. So that's what I'm getting from them, and it makes sense. You know, they beat the crap out of us, and of course they have not made it easy for people to awaken. No, they have not made it easy. It's like every time I mean, like others, when I started channeling, people, you would start seeing reptilians, and reptilians be all pissed off that we're awakening. So it's like, they're not making it easy. I mean, they're just, I mean, I know they call it babysitting, but it's like, when we try to awaken, you guys beat the crap out of us. So it's, I guess, all part of the plan. I'm too tired to go further into that, but they say they're babysitting us, but they like beat us to death, where it's like, okay, you ready to awaken? I'm not sure if I can even know who the hell I am right now. So yeah, because when you awaken with all this stuff and you tell people, they look at you like you're crazy. Well, it's time to turn that table around. It's like humanity in third dimension, you're a slave, and all these conspiracies and all that about the Illuminati. And not to say they're wrong, but crying about it isn't going to solve anything. Obviously, getting the word out helps, but the other word is that you are a soul, you're experiencing a human experience, you're an energy, and it's time to wake up to that. So make life a lot easier if you realize that. I mean, many of these people that are into conspiracies, many of them, they have children. Or where do you think that soul of that child came from? Nowhere. It comes from the spirit world. We call it astral. You want to call it whatever you want. When a soul leaves this earth, it goes back into astral or the spirit world, whatever you want to call it. But wherever you want to name it, we're all energy. It's time to wake up to that. If you deny it forever, I mean, it's not a big deal. But if you keep on denying it, it's like, jeez. Yeah, I mean, being angry at the Illuminati all the time, and Trump's little was at the wall in Mexico. It's just, it all has a lot to do with the mind, how the mind's operating. If you're angry, of course they're giving. I mean, reptilians around us, and who knows what else puts these thoughts in our mind to piss us off too. They just love doing that. So we have a long ways to go, but hopefully during this, you can call it an energy purge of enlightenment, though. Hopefully during this time we start to see more of these beings that are here, such as reptilians. That would help with disclosure. If we can see these beings, and even if you get on a picture, it's something. Right now we don't have much. If we can get some of this on film, it'll help. So hopefully that's part of this. I hope so. When you're sitting here all by yourself and there's like, a giant 8 being standing behind me, which is fine. Or a bunch of Zetas, that's fine. But, yeah, I've always thought if I'm doing a video or channeling somebody and someone appears behind me, that would be great. That's fine. I don't care. It's just, it's just, there's so many guards here keeping us shut down. It's not making it easy. Will it get any easier? Not easy, not quickly it feels, but it does. They're not saying, well, I guess they're working on it. So it would help giving us some knowledge of, just give us a sign that we're going, that this is going to happen. Give us a sign of who's here. Instead, I mean, ships are fine in the sky. That's great. It's something at least. But actually seeing the beings themselves would help. So if we're going into that, mode, that would, if it goes well, it just help. I mean, it's like if there's a bunch of them. So I mean, like you already have alien sightings of ships. You have to start seeing beings here, and more of that stuff goes public. It might scare people, but at least I'm getting used to what's going on. It's like, so who knows? I guess they're thinking about it. Jeez. Galactic Federation of Light. When should get it in gear? Jeez. Yeah, there's also a word of a new monetary system that has been talked about. I have not gone into it. I haven't really dived into it as deeply as it should be. I think also Alpha Centauri is involved with that. Of course, the Galactic Federations are too, but it feels like Alpha Centauri is very much involved. Once again, I don't see a collapse or anything like that. It's like, once again, a new era. We're going into a new world. Now, change hurts, can hurt, and not to say it's going to be war. It would just be something different. Of course, everybody, I mean, Trump can do a nice thing and everybody's going to hate him, so that's whatever. Building a wall is probably not the best idea for Mexico. I don't think it's going to work. These Mexicans, man, they'll find a way through that. They'll put a door in there. Just kind of a waste, but I hope they don't do it, but whatever. But it's not going to do any good. It might not even happen either. It's a possibility. It's yes and no. I'm getting on that. But yeah, we're going into time of awareness. Is, you can say, yeah, it's part of the event, but it's basically just getting us. I imagine vibrations are going to shift as for knowledge of when this will occur. At least more feelings of who is here. As for beings being seen here, it feels like there's some kind of like a prime directive here that they're not allowing that yet. Some kind of galactic directive that, don't scare the humans, I guess, directive. But I believe that's going to be shifted from what it seems. I guess we'll find out. But anything helps for us. I mean, even if people feel like it's a hoax, at least there's more alien images of actual beings being shown around on the net. We already have alien sightings of ships. Why not the beings themselves? They're not guaranteeing anything like that, but they should help us out a little bit. I mean, they have to go into the psychology of humanity, the mind, to get people ready for what's to come. If they don't see it, they're not going to believe it. And having them just pop up out of nowhere is not going to help anything. So, hopefully we go into that environment. I hope so. They're not saying anything with that. But they are helping us. Well, that information has not been configured with our world yet. Allowing certain parties are allowing it already, but they have to be very careful with it. Galactic Federations are tuning into our energies. Basically, from what they're showing, the Galactic Federations, those that are high up, have to truly actually come to this world, not in physical, but really kind of assess the situation. They're not really doing it. They're from Planet 9 or wherever they are. They usually have those outside the councils coming here. So that'd be, well, get their asses over here. I mean, they're talking all this talk, and we don't see much movement here. So it's like, that's not fair. It's like you're talking all this, like, disclosure. Well, where is, are you going to deliver, or are you just going to keep talking about it? It's like we need some indication that we're going into this. At least signs somewhere here and there. I'm talking to them as I'm talking here. So it's because I'm the whole day I felt the message. Okay, we'll get the message out and see where it goes from there. And this is kind of where we're going. Yeah, because those that run into skeptics, you have to see it to believe it. So at least if they see stuff online of images, pictures, it helps. It's something, because seeing a ship helps. That's one step. Second step, seeing the beings. That should be really where the concentration should be. Palladian, whatever it might be. A talking tomato, a big one. That's fine. I'll get their attention. Okay, maybe not that. Like fairy beings here too, unicorn energies. There have been, like on YouTube, there's stuff of mermaids, like little bits on that. So instead of this big secret, I mean, if they're talking about the purge of energies and all that. Let's see. Not everything is in consideration at this time. They are, once again, it's like when I'm talking, they connect to those that are hearing this, go to their vibrations, and so they're kind of going this step by step. And let's see here. Visitation is possible. Physical connections, not yet. As the preparations for those that are going to be here in the physical, they have to work with those in humanity, you know, who's going to respond to them. So those have already been chosen, but they have not been fully trained on this. Like, you see a ship and you talk to somebody, you know, yada yada yada. So they're preparing for that. But a lot of the Air Force bases are going to see a lot of activity coming up. Well, that's a good that's a good sign. Basically, anomalies in the sky is going to be told to go up and look and see what the hell that is. That's one. Well, that's not. Is that wasting their time? No, not really. Well, it's given the military a sign. Or let's say the deep state a sign of things to come. Because they're not always talking to each other. They are, but they're not. Not this guy's talking to that guy. It's all kind of over the place in some ways. It's like a deep state within the deep state. That makes sense. Not, you know, since when is all branches of government talking to each other? Never. So, yeah, it's the same thing with the deep state. Deep state will eventually come clean. Not yet. As for vibration shift on the Earth, basically more of a field of the fairy energy is coming around the Earth. You'll feel different. You feel more clean, more thinking clearly over time. As for those that are connected to the lower astral beings, might get more complicated in those areas, might not. No comment on that. Let's see here. The Galactic Federations are being very careful with this, of course, word by word, sentence by sentence. They realize, though, how fragile this information is, basically how it can be manipulated best. But basically, they are bringing into our attention of what is to come. Those that are not aware of all this, that don't believe in this, it is for those that are becoming aware, are going to receive a download of how to handle it. And some of you might bring in anomalies, basically asking for some kind of sign of things to come. So you become more in touch with your planet over time. You'll feel like not necessarily in control of it, but connected to it. They can't guarantee, you know, ships covering the skies anytime soon, but the energies are going to increase. Basically, all humans have to adjust to the vibration of you're not alone, and it's going to become more and more clear with each passing year, getting closer to the disclosure. As basically the knowledge of this become, basically most humans will be comfortable with this. Those that aren't already have their own drama, their own insecurities, and some of them need to go on the path that they chose. So if they go into a mental destruction because of it, they needed a reason to do it, because most of them are in that direction anyway. So not to say everyone's going to go implode mentally, but some will. But the reptilian manipulations here will become less and less. Yes, they're not going to fully leave here, but your knowledge of them will increase. It takes time for many of the humans in the third dimension to let go of the manipulations because they're so used to it. It's a part of their life. It'll be one day they're eating junk food, the next day they feel like, I all of a sudden feel like being healthy. So different transitions for different people. Not everyone's going to be on the same board. But everybody here knows there's mystery. Life is a mystery. Well, those mysteries are going to continue to arouse your planet, transform it, bring it into a new paradigm, a new direction. What matters most is the human heart, soul, keeping it at a high vibration. But not everyone here makes it easy to do that. Yes, there's manipulations here, but even without the manipulations, some are still remembering the memories of the pain You know, this you know, the soul is scarred. So healing from that will take time. Basically, alien connections here in the physical will be like a positive embrace. Just love from all directions. And not many on your world have ever, some might break down and cry in tears just because they feel the negativity releasing. So that is the message for tonight. Okay. Alright, very nice. Alright, we'll leave it with that. Those that are new to all this is ivataro.com. It's funny how I started coughing. I have private sessions throughout a little bit this week and next week. I also have one channel if you wish. Guess I'm not fully out of the woods yet. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channeling by phone, Skype. Also, we have the store here. It's around 5 days for most people now, I think, for delivery. And also has Spirit Social, same situation here. Have channelers and healers. We have the Jade Comic also, if you want to support the channel. Thank you. Still have to put a video up for that. Oh yeah, and here's the. There's a lot of interesting images here of ships, I believe, and beings, and there's also alien ships. So yeah, definitely recommend all this. Alien sightings, lovely. And also here's Bill Cosby, Noah talking to Noah, or Noah talking to God. That's a great one. Kind of feel like that. And also the Jake comic, the rabbit will making his full appearance, or next issue is coming soon. So, alright, thank you everyone. The radio show will be on Wednesday, because I have to get up early Wednesday morning, so I'll do it Wednesday afternoon. So, alright, blessings everyone, thank you for your support. I know this is all bizarre, it's going to get more bizarre. This is good stuff, as far as I can tell. You know, it's no fear at all. Take it with a grain of salt if you don't believe any of this, but, you know, the energies are, it's all vibration. It's all vibration. What are we going to allow? Like you can say, those that are aware of all this and comfortable with it, and they can always ask the universe, you know, how can I help, or can you bring something for the, you know, humanity, you know, bring a message to humanity in my area or somewhere, or I know it sounds weird, but you know, give us some clarity, or just put it out there. Can you give us more clarity of what's to come? You know, for the world to know, something like that. There's nothing wrong with always putting that vibration out. Some are probably already doing it all the time, but you know, we're in the time of awareness, and the idea is to have less people going crazy when it happens. So that's, you know, instead of like with Noah gets in the boat and everybody floods and not everybody survives, the idea for this is survival. You know, for people not to totally, I mean, there's going to be that, but it's going to be less of it. So that's the idea behind it. So, alright, blessings everyone. And remember, also, yeah, the thought comes, just remember, this can happen. Disclosure, aliens show, I mean, they're already here anyway. They can appear, turn on the lights, and be here right now. So, right now, they can be, I mean, they're already here already. Just, they can just turn on the lights and, hello. But they can't do it because of, you know, many are in denial. So, just want me to put that out there again. So, okay, blessings. Thank you for all this. And see you tomorrow. Much love.